This next little case study I'm excited to share with you. Doctors Christopher Kent and Donnie Epstein were at University of California Irvine School of Medicine, where they have an fMRI scanner, or a functional MRI scanner. And they wanted to look at pre and post effects of brain function on a patient before and after adjustment. So, and in this case it was network, because it was Donnie Epstein that was there that was doing this. And there was a group of medical researchers there, some PhDs, a medical doctor, and of course the two chiropractors I had mentioned. So fMRI is kind of an interesting thing. Rather than looking at anatomy, it's looking really at brain chemistry, or shifts in brain chemical function, and it can kind of highlight that. So what they did is they put this gal into the fMRI scanner, and they had her perform a motor function, which was to wiggle her left foot. And as she wiggled her left foot, they were looking at how much brain activity lights up as a result of her performing that process, or that motor maneuver. And then they took her out, adjusted her, put her back in the scanner, and had her wiggle her left foot a second time to see how it would look and how much brain function, or how much brain energy, if you will, it took for her to do the same thing after an adjustment. And I want to show you now what the results. So you're looking down here at the brain. You're kind of looking at it from the top of the skull looking down. So it's as if you're hovering over somebody and looking down. The top is the anterior portion, the bottom, the posterior. And you could see basically that all those little pixels on there where you see like blue and orange and yellow, it's diffused throughout the entire brain. Those are all activation sites, or areas of brain activation and energy. So you can see that as she's wiggling her left foot, most of the brain is lighting up here. There's a ton of activity in the brain related to that particular motor function. So again, they took her out of the scanner, they adjusted her, put her back in, and then had her wiggle her left foot again. And let's take a look at this. Now you can see that there's only a focal area of activity pretty much concentrated on the left side of the brain toward the back, or toward the bottom of your screen. You see the difference. On the last slide, and we'll go back to that slide right now, you can see all that brain activity. There's so much brain activity there. After the adjustment, doing the same motor function, look at this. There's just a little bit of activity there. Basically, what we're looking at is increased efficiency. Remember we talked about dyskinesis? Remember we talked about prenosology? We're looking at increased efficiency in brain function. It took so much less brain energy to wiggle her foot after the adjustment than it did before. So now we're back to, wow, you know what? She's getting more miles per gallon. She can do the same types of things, but use much less energy doing so she doesn't have to dip into her functional reserves. So it preserves her vital force, all those things that we spoke about earlier. So I think this is a pretty cool little case that kind of illustrates all the things we've been talking to up until this point.